Hello, folks. Today, Louisiana is joining at least one and possibly a second fellow beer enthusiast from the great country of England, the beer guy, Harry, who's trying to join us, but he keeps getting errors and he can't join. But we have Stuart, and I appreciate Harry and Stuart asking me to join them in this Stella Artois excursion. Yeah. Harry, we are here for you. Now,
technology.
So, hello, folks. Now, why did you two fellows, pick wife beater? Now, I'm eating this chicken andouille gumbo, by the way, but why did you all pick the notorious wife beater?
Because for me, it was probably the first beer that got me into drinking beer. Because a lot of my friends said when I used to go out with my friends, I always drank orange juice and lemonade and cola. And then one night, as always, a woman gets involved, and then you end up drinking it. So this is probably the first beer I actually did add and enjoyed.
Now, what year are we talking about?
Probably when I first started drinking beer, it was probably about the end of 1990 or something like that, or 2001. So I've only been drinking beer for about 15 years.
Okay. So for about 3 years less than myself. I started in 96.
Oh, cool. Wait, you only started drinking beer in 1996?
February 96, age 27.
So you didn't drink beer before that?
No.
Oh,
only as a little 4-year-old. Like if my parents were having a barbecue or fish fry, they would let me sip out the bottle, and I had good memories of that. You know, I would never drink a lot, of course, but
no.
I don't recall seeing Stella Artois around here in the 1990s, though. Seems like it didn't show up until maybe 10 to 15 years ago. Maybe that had something to do with InBev or whatever, but I don't recall seeing it in the 90s. I know I would have drank it if I had seen it.
Yeah. Now, the ABV has changed many times over the years. The one I've got right here is 4.8.
Yeah, and now I know a little bit about that because, okay, first let's give a little background. This beer came out in 1926. You know, the can and bottles say the year 1366, but that's a little bit misleading because, yes, there is evidence that there was a brewery in that part of Europe in 1366, but the Stella Artois brand did not begin until 1926 as a Christmas beer, right?
Yeah.
And the story with the alcohol is that in England there was some sort of idea that Stella Artois was known to be related to men going crazy and beating up their wives and girlfriends, and therefore it got the nickname wife beater, right?
Yes. Yes.
And so they decided that Stella Artois, InBev, decided, okay, we'll lower the alcohol to 4.8, so it won't be as strong, and we won't have to pay the new British alcohol tax on things above 5%. So you have a different recipe than I have. I have the full strength 5%, and you have the 4.8.
Now yours, does it come with this like presentation?
We get the identical bottles. We get those bottles that you're showing, and the very big ones, the 24 ounce, I think, and then we get it in the regular 12 ounce, or it would be in your figuring 355 milliliter.
Yeah. I have seen a Grolsch style top on some Stella bottles.
What type? What type?
You know the resealable caps?
Oh, never seen that.
They had it was one of the bargain supermarkets.
I'll be right back. I want to go get one more thing, and hopefully Harry can join us because I've sent him many invites and he's having a technical issue, unfortunately.
Ouch. That sucks. Looking forward to chatting to Harry. While he gets some I'll do the pour. Oh, yes. There's the cap. Stella Artois. Yeah, hopefully Harry join us.
Yeah, it would be a shame if he can't join us because he was basically the mastermind behind this project today.
Yeah. Shame.
Yeah.
I can get him invited again.
It's like John Lennon can't go to the Beatles. But anyway, I love the Stella Artois bottle design. I think it's fantastic. Now, whether the beer is fantastic, there's a different issue, but I think the bottle and can design is really impressive.
Yeah.
I think they have slick advertising and all of that. Of course, that's not the whole picture, but it is part of the picture.
Now, have you had? When was the last time you had this done? This beer?
I would say about maybe 2 months ago. Not long.
Ah, it's been a lot longer for me.
Oh yeah.
Well, the problem is, you don't get to repeat a lot of the beers that you first started out with, because we've drank so many beers since then.
Yeah.
And many other beers from all over the world.
All over, yeah. And you and I lost track.
Yeah.
People say, "What about this one?" And he tried to join again, but you might want to tell him to reboot his computer. You know, sometimes if you restart it, it'll take away those errors. People will ask, "Have you and Stuart reviewed this and that?" We can't even remember. We'd have to do. Here's another Belgian beer. How do you like this one? I drank this a little while ago. I'm going to post a review eventually.
A second. Well, yeah. Well, I've asked my local shop to get all three of the Chimay beers in. Which colour's that?
Notice which one this is.
Is it different beer altogether?
It's Doré.
Oh,
Doré.
Oh.
This is the one that you can't buy, but yet I bought it. I was in a bottle shop, and I looked on the shelf, and my jaw dropped. I said, Doré. I had been thinking about that beer for years, how it would be nice to go to Belgium and actually sit down at the monastery and drink it. And then come to find out there was a special release, I guess about a year ago or last year, so I immediately bought it.
Yeah.
You know, I did only the second English language review of the beer on the internet. Chad's Beer Reviews did a review of it a few years ago, and so I thought it was really good. It was most excellent, and I'm glad I got to try it because I'll probably never see it again. And it's 4.8% alcohol. But anyway, that's an ale with spices. This is a lager without spices, only water, barley malt, hops, and yeast. Correct?
Yes.
No adjuncts, right?
No. You can see. That's clear. I just had a sip a minute ago. It's such a nice beer. Still, after all these years. Harry says he's rebooted his computer.
Good.
But he's still having a problem.
It can't be on our end because you and I wouldn't be on here. Now, it says best before August of 2015. So I have a lot of life on this can. Now, this is a pretty big can. Do you get these cans in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, Yorkshire?
We do, yeah. But again, we've got now 4% Stella and 4.8% Stella. We actually sell lower.
4%. Wow. Now look at that. Now this is a Stella Artois glass, and I do have to mention, I guess, that this was given to me by the company. A set of, I think, 4 glasses. It's gold rimmed at the top.
Hmm. Oh yes. I did have a few of those glasses, but I've given a load to charity shops. Try to cut down my glass collection.
Yeah, the man who distributes, or was whatever part of the company said, "Would you like these glasses?" Well, you know the answer is going to be yes. Now you said you don't have them anymore, those glasses.
I've probably got one left, but like I said, I've got a few other still variation of glasses, but I've got rid of the majority of the duplicate ones.
Now this can, how big is that in a metric system? About 500 milliliters?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, can it happen now?
Yay!
I've no idea what's going on with my thing.
Harry.
Technology.
Harry.
Hello?
We have to dress you down, sir. You are not allowed to have internet connectivity issues. Okay, but anyway, we're drinking wife beater, and I'm feeling aggressive after only 2 sips because I'm getting the 5% version.
Now, is it called wife beater in the US of A?
No, I never heard that expression ever until I started talking to English people. In fact, you know the muscle shirts? They call them wife beaters. No one in America calls them that. They just call them muscle shirts. So that's obviously an England-only term.
Now, when I was in my, I'd say late 20s, and I was still drinking Stella at the time, I knew I wanted a change in pace, and that's what made me drink real ale.
Yeah.
Is when I started mixing Stella Artois with Smirnoff Ice.
What?
Oh dear God.
And now that drink over here is called a Turbo Shandy.
I would call it a horror. A nightmare. Look at this beautiful creamy head. It almost makes little mountains in the head. Little mountains.
Yeah.
So you would make these mixed beer drinks, and then decided to expand into ale.
Presently, is they would taste almost. If you taste them too much today, it's almost like a corporate IPA, commercial IPA.
Sounds
You get those lemon barley notes, you get those zesty notes from the Smirnoff, and then you get this sharp crispness from the Stella.
Let me just go off track a little bit. Do you get Smirnoff beers over there? Because in America we get a bunch of different Smirnoff flavored beverages, and they're all beer. You know, if you look on the back of the label, it says flavored beer or flavored malt liquor, but a lot of people actually think it's vodka, but it is not.
No.
I mean, you can buy Smirnoff vodka, obviously. Isn't that what it originally was?
And there's also, if you look in some parts of Germany, you get Warsteiner, and they do like flavored variations of their premium lager. You can get bubblegum, cola, lemon, all those different flavors.
From Warsteiner.
Yes, a Warsteiner.
Sounds ghastly. Now, we get a lot of flavored Budweiser beers over here, you know.
Yeah, I think I had a few when I was in Ohio. They do the small cans, about $2.50. I remember.
Yeah, Lime-A-Rita, Strawberry-Ta, Apple-Rita. Now they've got Mixtail, which is different hard liquor flavor Bud Lights like rum, gin, all types of things that I would never want to drink. Anyway, Harry, I said I started drinking Stella Artois about 15 years ago when it first appeared in my area. Stuart said about the same time frame. What about you, sir?
I never really drunk it, to be honest. I've never really liked it that much. The go-to lager for me would probably be Beck's, and that's what I drunk before.
Nice.
And I still would drink that happily now. I don't think it's that bad. But yeah, I think I probably started drinking Beck's when I was about 16, but not that often because I was more cider drinker at the time. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
How old are you now? I'm 46.
I'm 21 now.
Ew, well. That's good. I remember when I was 28, Stuart? No.
Yeah. I'm 28.
Stuart's 28 years old. All right, now, doesn't look a day over 30. But, hey, you know, the reason I'm bringing up those ages, I'm sorry to interrupt. The reason I'm bringing up those ages because I was remarking earlier, I never drank beer until I was 27 years old, you know, and people say, remember back in your youth when you would get drunk and everything? I said, no, I used to drink Coca-Cola and Pepsi in those days.
Yeah, I mean, I think, as I say, I drank more as more cider person. It's sweeter and it's more to the taste at the time. I think I only really properly got into beer properly, like real ale wise, when I was about 19, and then, or maybe 18, 19, and then just got addicted by then. Now approaching 22, I'm just having tons and tons. But yeah.
Look, we don't like to use the word addicted. We like to say things like enthusiastic.
Yeah.
Overly enthusiastic there.
We don't want to. Yeah, please don't use incongruous or don't use inconvenient terminology. Let's say inconvenient terminology.
Now, as we're drinking the Stella, is it off-putting aroma-wise and flavour-wise for me? No, for you two?
I'll go with Harry first, and then I'll comment.
The aroma on mine, when I opened it, it was really quite skunky. It wasn't as skunky as I've had previous bottles, but it was pretty skunky. The taste, it's not bad. It's just there are better lagers out there that I would prefer to drink. Even there's better mass-produced lagers for me. This, I think it's got some like... It's better than the Russian lagers, put it that way, and I've had a lot of Russian lagers. It's better than those. But yeah, it's still got a hay grassiness, no sweetness in it. I prefer the reason why I go to Beck's and prefer Beck's is it's got an actual like a bready taste in it. I prefer the bready taste, and this one it's just a little bit thin than. Is
the skunkiness still there though? Because we've noticed with the Russian lagers, once they leave in the glass for a while,
it dissipates.
It's gone away now. It's gone away, yeah.
It dissipates. People. Me and Stuart talked about this before. People tend to overplay skunkiness. If they wait half a minute, almost every time it's no issue.
Yeah.
It wisps away. Whoop, it's gone. Now I have to remark, mine is not skunky in any way because I'm drinking out of a can.
Is that a craft can?
What? And also, Harry, my version is the full-bodied 5% variant, whereas you all are drinking the 4.8.
Yes.
Now, oh yeah, my opinion about it. Well, I have to say, I really like it, and it's not because I got 4 free glasses from the company, although...
What? You sell out.
I might be a sellout, but I'm an honest sellout. Now,
yeah, you mentioned it.
Well, let me say this. First of all, I did not ask for those glasses. They came up to me and said, would you like these glasses? Well, I didn't want to be rude, so I said, of course.
They won't recognize you. You're not Jay Tilio.
Correct. Now, secondly, I really like it. I thought about buying a bottle for this examination. I saw the big, tall 24-ounce bottles. They were $3, and I said, maybe I'll buy that. And then I saw the smaller bottles, and then I saw a can, and I said, well, heck, I'll just buy a can. I think it was $2.20, something like that. So, but I like the aroma.
Reduced 59 pence.
Huh?
I got mine in the reduced section at my local supermarket, 59 pence.
Oh, you lucky. All right, now the aroma is very mild, but I do pick up some cracker and some grassiness, but it's not a whole lot of aroma. It's not particularly aromatic. The flavor.
I'd rather drink this than horseshoeing, though.
I like the sweetness. I like the very pale maltiness. It's so lightly roasted,
Yeah.
and I think it has a nice, very delicate and low-profile bitterness. But the bitterness is there for a rounding effect. I think the light to medium mouthfeel and the crisp, clean, refreshing finish is really fantastic. I don't see any flaws with this beer personally. It's not as strong as other lagers. It's not as as flavorful as some, but I think what it has going for it is very good. I think the positives on this beer far outweigh any negatives.
Yeah.
But I don't really get any negatives. But anyway, that's just my opinion. I'm not saying Harry's wrong. Harry can't say this. If that's how he feels about it. I do like Beck's, and here's a strong Beck's that we have in America. I don't know if you get it in England.
What? No?
Beck's Sapphire.
Sounds posh.
It's made with, and it has a foil.
It's done in diamonds and sapphires.
Yes. Well, they call it Beck's Sapphire because it's made with sapphire hops. It's a special type of hops, sapphire hops. Not only that, this beer is 6% alcohol, and it's in a black bottle. They said they had a hard time developing this. It's really brown. If you look at it under direct light, it's dark.
Yeah.
But it does look black. But I think you and Harry would enjoy trying Beck's Sapphire.
Yeah, I'd give it any beer at least once a try. I mean, I tried, is it Miller Fortune in the massive can?
That's the
I
one.
enjoyed that. It resembled a lot of the Moxney beers that Harry and myself have been reviewing recently.
I think Miller Fortune is similar to the Mockney beers, but it's a little. It seems like it has a little nasty bitterness that, as you drink more and more of it, it becomes unappealing.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't drink more than the can, but the fact that the can is about this big.
Oh yeah, this huge can. Now, I think the Budweiser Black Crown, which is 6%, the Miller Fortune 6.9, but the Black Crown is a little more enjoyable, and it is similar, like you said, to Mockney's. I'm glad you brought up Mockney's because we get a lot of beers like that in America, but they don't call them Mockney. They call them malt liquor, but they're similar. They're very similar, except I think the Polish Mockneys don't generally have corn or rice, correct?
Harry?
I don't know. I haven't had
Well, I thought you'd know because you've been reviewing them all.
Well, my Russian beers, maybe, but...
The reason I say that is because I did a taste challenge where I took 3, and I was very easily able to identify the Lomza Mockney.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Yeah, it was so much different.
Now, would I buy this again? Yeah, I've bought it first time 15 years ago, and I bought it again 15 years later, and it's not off-putting. It's still enough taste for me there, and the fact it's not only it's a social beer, a beer that you drink with your friends in a club or a bar. So it's just got enough flavour to keep you pleased.
Yeah.
And not too much flavour that'll put you unbalanced, and you can still chat to your friends. So
I agree with that. But that's my I agree, Stuart.
Now, the other thing is a lot of times craft beer drinkers compare their imperial IPAs to these lagers. I mean, recent Budweiser advert, it threw craft beer drinkers into the mentalness.
Yeah.
And all that was just telling you in the Budweiser advert that they're not for dissecting, they're just for drinking. And that's what Stella is, it's just for drinking.
Right.
You use your dissecting beers when you buy yourself at your own pace.
And I think with Stella Artois, your quality control is there. You're gonna you're going to find that if you go anywhere in the world, and you're getting the 4.8, I'm getting the 5%, I'm sure it's not that much different. You're going to find that it's going to always be very, well, it's not going to be very, it's going to be identical in flavor. You're not going to find a Stella Artois that's off. You know, it's just going to be, is it going to be as flavorful and as exotic as this Belgian beer? Harry, look at this. The Chimay Doré. Chimay Doré? No, it's not. But on the other hand, the Chimay Doré was $4.79, and this, with a bigger amount, was $2.20. You have to take that into account. And I would drink the Stella Artois if I was drinking a bunch more than I would drink the Doré. The Doré is just too intense to take too much of it. You know, it's just you would get sick of it, even though it is gourmet to the hilt. Have you ever had Doré, Harry?
I haven't. No, I've only had Red, Blue, and another one. Can't remember. I had them all on tap in Hong Kong.
What?
Yeah, there was a. I think the place was called Frites. It was a Belgian bar.
Yeah.
I had Delirium Tremont, all the Delirium beers I remember on tap, and they had Chimay Red, Blue, and there was another one as well which they had on tap as well.
The white one, I think.
White cap.
Yeah, it's probably it. I only had Red and Blue, and my friend had obviously probably had the white one. And it wasn't good for having those in a big long sitting, which is what we did. We were in there for about 4 hours, and we had Red, Blue, Delirium, and it was just the Tremont I had, and it was just like, that's not a good idea, and in that heat as well, it would have been like 35 degrees, 97% humidity. It wasn't a good idea, but no, it was still nice. But as I do agree with you, what you say is this is more of a easy drinking beer. It's a drinking beer, not a tasting beer. It's got some good taste, and it beats Budweiser for me. It's got more taste to it than a Budweiser does, definitely. And it's relatively decent priced. I mean, I got the big bottle for £1.50 here.
Yeah, it's not that as well.
640 ml. So yeah, I like it. I'm not saying it's a bad beer. I'm just saying it's easy drinking beer. I personally prefer Beck's to this, but it's an easy drinking beer, and you can easily have loads of cans of it if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
Do you all know? That's a fair assessment, Harry. That is a fair assessment, and I do also think it has more flavor than Budweiser. But do you all know why it's called Stella Artois?
I don't know. No.
Well,
okay, because the man who was the owner or the major or senior partner, whatever, his last name was Artois, and it means in Latin it means Artois star.
Okay.
And that's why they always have a star on it.
wow.
Yep, and it's from Louvain, Belgium. Now, Harry, I'm not, a world traveler like you, but I have been a few places. But anyway, one day maybe I'll go all over the world and even to some questionable locations. But actually, I talked to Harry about going to North Korea. I said I would go to North Korea and drink beer. I'd be worried that I would be murdered. Not by the North Koreans, but I better not say too much here. But anyway. I like.
Yeah, you can be murdered anywhere. It's a dangerous world out there.
Hey, my final statement about this beer. It's a good hanging out, doing a video beer.
Yeah. Nice social beer, like social lubricant, beer lubricant.
Right. I had I had this bowl of chicken andouille sausage gumbo with the rice, and I put a lot of hot sauce in it and black pepper.
What you do?
And the cheese, and I melted it all in there. It was really good with the hot and spicy meal on a pretty cold, damp, and uncomfortable day. It's good for that. Now, I have a couple of more beers to drink today, so it's a good what you call build-up beer. I started with the Chimay, and now on to this, and I'm contemplating doing another lager, which I know you or Harry have not had, and but I want to do a revisit. But anyway.
Mm-hmm. All right.
What beer is that?
Well, I was trying to avoid mentioning it, but it was it's Milwaukee's best friend. Anyway, it's I'll show it to you. I'm not embarrassed. It's
Beer's beer.
okay. Well, hell, I bought it for $17.99 a 30-pack. That's right, I said it. $17.99 a 30-pack for Milwaukee's best premium on the market.
If that's Milwaukee's best, right? Does that mean everything else out of Milwaukee is not that good?
Oh, I can show you Milwaukee's worst. On the market since 1895. Now here's a good example of Milwaukee's worst. Milwaukee Special Reserve. This would gag a maggot.
That should be a tagline. Gag a maggot.
If you had a garbage can full of rotting meat and maggots, and you poured this beer in there, all the vermin would flee. They would run from it. Guaranteed to chase flies off a gut wagon. Anyway, it's horrible, horrendous. So, well, enough prattling on and jibber jabber.
Belgium beer.
Any final thoughts? I like it, but I'm only one person, so you know how that goes. Anyway,
I like it.
All right. So it's not my favourite beer in the world. Never will be. Not my favourite lager.
Well,
But it's not bad. It's not bad. I'll say that.
fair enough. We'll still like you to an extent. Well, now you all have a very exotic beer coming up after you settle down and get some and you get some food in your body. Well, anyway, I would like to do this again. I appreciate you two inviting me. Actually, it's on my channel, but you two invited me, correct?
Yeah.
It's glad that Harry finally made it, because technology and all.
And Harry was the mastermind behind this little get-together, was he not? Harry, you should come up with many more ideas like this, and we can do more of it, I say.
Sounds a good idea.
And you can
plenty more.
Stuart, you can get Andrew back in this game.
No.
Or not, or whatever, if we could. All right, well, anyway, all right, thank you, folks, for watching this pretty fantastic video production.
You'll come back to Louisiana.
And you take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So long, folks.